Guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new episode from Salvage Nations. And this one is a bit special. This is going to be the launch of a new series, and I'm calling it Quick Flips. So in Quick Flips, it's all about buying cars really cheap, fixing them, selling them, flipping them, all in the same episode. Today's episode is the first episode of Quick Flips. So in this episode, I've got not one, but two new builds. Quick Flips is more geared around the process and less around the actual work. You'll still be seeing some work, but it's more geared around the process, checking out the car, checking out the damage, and doing everything about the build and flipping it for profits. So if that's what you want to see, guys, continue watching. We've got two builds, not one, two builds. Let's go check it out. I'm gonna go home, get changed, go meet my delivery guy, Jay. Let's get started. Right, guys, so I got two super cheap builds that I'm gonna flip really quickly, and I want you guys to see everything that I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna do it all in just this one episode. So I've been sat waiting, and Jay from JA Transportation has just turned up. Got one 2008 Ford Focus, a 2010 ZS, and Jay from JA Transportations. There we go, guys. If you need anything, any logistical needs, cars being moved around the UK, make sure you check out JA Transportation. So both of these cars, this one, as soon as I take it off, I'm gonna go around and show you guys all the damage, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. It's an automatic, it's got the key, it runs and drive. So guys, I'm just gonna leave Jay to offload those cars, and then I'll let you know, and I'll let you see what they look like. That's a very good sign, guys. Both of them start right up, so they should be nice and quick. Fingers crossed. There he goes, and there's my two beauties. Let's go check them out. So guys, this is the first car that I bought. So this is number one of two. It's 2008 Ford Focus. It was rare in damage, and this is the damage. Guys, have a look at that. Just that. That will be able to get fixed in no time. It's not affecting any safety measures or any issues on the car. Have a look. The bottom of the car is still completely fine. Still safe to drive. Still quite clean. Going around the car, the bodywork is in very good condition for the age and the mileage. The tires are still pretty good. The bonnet is nice and tight. It's got no damage on the front. So it's just a matter of sorting out the back. Check all the lights. Check the radio. That works. I've checked the drive. That works. Check the fans. That works. Headlights work. Indicators work. Everything works on the car. It's just ready to drive, guys. And this car came with the logbook as well. So this is literally a jump in like this and drive. It's got 98 on the clock. It's automatic. It's got no issues. It literally drives. You literally jump straight into it and drive. I'm gonna send it for MOT right now, and this is gonna be sold tonight. So I'm selling it as it is. I already bought this with a buyer in mind, so this is gonna be gone tonight. So let's continue to have a look around. And this is the second car, guys. This is the one I'm excited about. So it's missing the complete front end. However, in the pictures, as you can see, there's no chassis damage. This is a category N car for non-structural, so everything is nice and straight. There's no damage on the front end, so it's literally just buy the parts and replace the parts. So the driver side wing's got some damage, clearly that's been removed, and it's gone on down to the driver side door, and it's also affected the rear driver side. So it's looking like it's going to be a new spray job right down the side. On the back end, got no damage. got that lovely red Zetec S, and whoever had the car, guys, they've gone ahead and upgraded the license plates. But have a look at this. I noticed that's a rear view camera, so clearly someone spent a bit of money and installed a few bits on the car. Because it's the Zetec S, it's got the sporty rear and front bumpers, so I need to find a sporty Zetec S front bumper. If anyone's got one, let me know. On this side, it's got no damage, it just needs a bit of a clean. It's got that lovely red S there again, so it's looking like 2 headlight, front slam panel, front bumper and the wing, and that's it. So guys, I always check the boot, and I think this build and this car just got better. Have a look at that, guys. I can see 1 headlight, 2 headlights, even though it's cracked, and the bumper and the grills. This is what I was really like dreading. However, now that this bumper is there, I can remove the bottom lip. I've got the grills that I need, because the grills are quite different. I'll show you. The grills are very different to a regular Ford Focus, and you can see all the parts, the bonnet lights, the fog lights, all the bits are in the boot. So I will be digging into that and getting on with this build in this episode. This is going to be a 1 episode job. Let's check out the inside. Now the inside is pretty rank, guys, but there's nothing that a good clean won't sort, so I'm not scared of that. I hate these sort of things, so I'll be removing that seat cover. Now I've seen something up above, guys, that I'm very excited about, and I think it's linked to the rear camera. So check this out. Have a look at that, guys. So it looks like it's got a front facing camera. There we go, front facing camera, and a rear facing camera right there. So someone has gone ahead and installed a camera both for the front, for when you're driving, to record any potential accidents and what's not, and it also has an input for a rear view camera. So it looks like they've gone ahead and done that. Now another really good thing about this particular car, guys, that I'm very happy about is it's got that forward power button. So it's keyless entry and keyless start. Have a look at this. So that's the key. The key's got no blade, it's just a fob. And then if you look at the forward power button, and all I need to do is press the clutch, press the button, and it starts. And the car starts straight away, guys. Have a look at that. And it sounds very sporty. Have a listen. How does that sound, guys? I'm very happy with this car. This should be a good, easy, straightforward repair, and it's gonna start now. Right, guys, so it's a new day here, and I've got good news. The black Ford Focus, remember I got 2, one was black, one was grey. The black one has been sold, but literally I bidded for that, it got delivered, and on the same day, I didn't do anything. I just took it to the car wash and I sold it the same day. That was actually one of my subscribers, so thank you. He DM'd me and he told me he was looking for a car from Copart, and he asked for my help to help him find a car. I gave him my terms and conditions, he provided the funds, and we made it happen, and now he's happy. So guys, just putting it out there, if any of you want to do the same, get in touch. Now we're going to move on to my second Ford Focus Zetec S. Let's check it out. So guys, this is the front bumper from the Zetec S, and as you can see straight away, the front grille is very different. It's got these kind of sporty type of grills here in either corner. It's quite big, it's quite chunky, and it's got a lower lip on the bottom. Now I've been looking, and it's super difficult to find this lower lip, so I'm hoping that I can remove it, separate it from the broken bumper, and then do a repair on any cracks or any little bits of damage, and then I can attach this to a new front bumper. Another good thing is I've got my fog lights, I've got my fog light covers as well, so that's a plus. Let's go back and see what else we've got. So this is clearly the damaged wing. Another reason I'm happy about having this wing in the boot is because I get to remove this S button, and I don't need to buy one, so I can take that off of this damaged wing and put it onto a replacement wing. Looking around in the boot, we've got 2 headlights, and this is the side that has no damage, so I should be able to just pop this back in, and it's starting to come together already. This is the driving side headlight, but as you can see, it's got a massive crack right there, so I will be replacing this. And you can see everything is kind of laid out in the boot, very nice, very particular. Everything has been taken off and put back in the boot. So what that tells me, guys, is this is an insurance job. This car probably sat in an insurance approved garage for a couple of weeks. They probably stripped it down, and then they probably gave a quote to the insurance company, and then the insurance company probably changed their mind and said, okay, no, we're not going to pay that, so you might as well send it to Copart, we're going to write it off. So I guess that's what's happened, but it's good for me. There's hardly any damage on this car. Hardly any damage on this car. I'll be getting a new tire, because we need to get a new tire, but the alloy itself, it doesn't look broken, and as I showed you before, it's fully loaded. Right, so I'm going to remove this grille. I need to remove this grille cover for the fog light, and also that one over there. So I've already pulled this apart, and this just pops out. Look, no damage whatsoever, so I'll stick this in the boot. Guys, I'm going to be buying and repairing and fixing and selling this car in one single episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you're enjoying it, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please make sure you smash that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. So the next step, guys, is to order some parts. I'll be ordering a new front bumper, a new wing, and a new headlight, and that's it. Hopefully that's all the parts that I need. I can reassemble this car just like that. It's a category in, it came with the logbook, and I can get this car back on the road in no time. Right, guys, so I've come down to Home & Tyres to get a new tyre for the Ford Focus Zetec S front wheel. And it's the gift that doesn't stop giving, guys. Check this out. So I'll show you a picture right here of what the wheel looked like when it came. I assumed that the tyre was completely gone. It was a good tyre, but I assumed that it had some massive puncture on the sidewall somewhere. We've come down, and guys, this is the same tyre. Check it out. So the tyre has got lots of thread left, but there's no damage anywhere. He told me that it was fine. He called me down. So I've come down, I've had a look, and I'm surprised. It's completely fine. So we've put some air, we've inflated it. Now I'm gonna get it back and put it back on the car, and it should be good to go. So let's do that. Right, guys, so it's a couple of days later. As you can see, I'm inside H&A Autos. They're closed at the moment, but Mustafa's kindly allowed me to use the garage because it's absolutely freezing outside. So I got the Ford Focus transferred down to H&A Autos where I can work more comfortably. It should be half an hour to an hour job of putting it all back together. I've checked, there's no damage to the chassis, everything's straight as an arrow, so it's just a matter of bolting on some parts. Speaking of parts, I've ordered down some parts. So here I've got my bumper skin. I'll be unpacking that and showing that to you. I've got my wing panel. And these are two direct panels which will go straight back onto the car. If you remember earlier on in the episode, in the boot were the two headlights. The passenger headlight is completely fine, that's there. The driver headlight has got a crack in it, but because it's the bank holiday weekend, it's not going to be in for now. So, but I can still use this to line up everything. So I'll put this in for now, but then at a later date I can change that out from the car. Other than that, guys, I've got my repair tyre onto the wheel. I need to put that on today. I want to reassemble the wheel arch liner. I've got some other plastic bits down there for the bumper to transfer over. And then I'm going to take my time and try to remove the lip from the bottom of that broken bumper right there. And hopefully I'll get this front end looking like a car again. I think you've heard enough talking from me now. I'll stick it on the time lapse and get to work with assembling the front of the car. Let's go. there you have it, guys. I reckon I'm about halfway through, so I thought I'll take a break and explain to you exactly what's happened. So everything's going great. I've managed to change out my driving side wing panel. Remember, that's my broken light. Now there's a big gap here because there's a broken tab on the under part of the light. But in reality, once I get the new light, it's gonna sit kind of like that. And as you can see, the gap is a lot better versus when it's down there. So that's gonna sit a bit higher. So I'm happy with that gap. Have a look at the front end. And then this is the side that didn't have any damage. So that's all good. So I've just replaced that light. Underneath looks all good. The bonnet is all good. That is the container that I was talking about for underneath. And everything's going well fine. I know it looks like a mess, but ignore that, guys. This is my front bumper. I'm getting ready to put the front bumper on, but before I can put that on, this is a little cut off that I took from the old bumper, and it's got these little bumper guides that I need to remove. So this big plastic one needs to come off, and I need to pop that into the new bumper. And then this is the big kind of sporty grille that I was explaining. This hopefully should fit into that bumper. That's a bumper that I ordered off the registration of this car, so it should be the sport version. Let's unwrap the bumper, transfer everything that I need to transfer, and then get the bumper onto that car and continue. Let's go. Guys, so have a look. I've managed to completely assembling my test fitting for the complete car. So let's do a little walk around and show you what I've done. So I'll start with the side with the main damage. On the driver's side, I've completely swapped out my wing panel. I've taken off the spare tire that was there. There it is. I've put back on the original alloy with the tire that I fixed. I've connected my front bumper, just testing the fitment. I'm happy with the lines there. I've adjusted this as well. I'm happy with the lines on the top. Obviously the light is broken, is missing some tabs, so that would line up quite nicely as well. I need to put in all my fog stuff, all the brackets and stuff for the fog lights, but I've got them over there. I'm not gonna put that in until the car's sprayed. I've test fitted my sport front grille, and you can see it fits perfectly and it looks great. I've tested my lights work. This is the passenger side, had no issues on that side. Everything lines up completely well. Have a look at that, guys. Tell me what you think. It's been about an hour and a half's work, and then we've got the car completely back together. Have a look at the car. You've seen the work that I've done. You saw it when it got delivered, and I've got a giveaway for you guys. If you can guess how much I bought this and the other car together for, on the day after the fees, I'll be sending you guys out, whoever wins it, I'll be sending you out his and hers jet tags from Salvage Nations. If you head on over to shopsalvagenation.com, you'll see what they look like. They come in black, they come in red. One for him and one for her. So with all of that done, the only thing that I've got left to do is I need to remove this bottom lip from my broken bumper. Have a look, my bumper is broken there. I'll take out the fog lights from there and I'll take it all off along the side, and I want to do a test fit to see if it lines up fine. But that's going to be all I can do on the car right now. So let's get the lip off and see what else we can come up with. Guys, that was hard work, but I managed to get my lip removed from a broken bumper. Now the lip has got some damage, so I'm going to be repairing that right now as well. So have a look at that, guys. I've managed to reassemble everything. I've put back in my bonnet lock, so the bonnet is nice and tight. This is still the broken light, as I said. Everything on the front end, the test fit went completely fine. I partially did a repair. I'll be clipping off these extra bits tomorrow. So I've done a repair on the crack, and then on the outside it's going to be some filler and a little bit of fiberglass paste as well. But that's the bottom lip, so it's going to get connected to the bottom of the bumper. So guys, I'm going to leave it for now. It's gotten super late on me. It's like 10 at night. So tomorrow morning, I'll come in and I'll pick up exactly where I left off. So guys, it's about 4 weeks later and I've got Mustafa working away, doing his thing. He's doing his thing on the bodywork side. And just like that, let's have a look at that. All done. And guys, remember, this is quick flips. This is not a rebuild video. This is quick flips. So it's all about the process and not just the work. I've showed you a little bit of the work. We're going to be getting onto the process and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. I just need to put on a few bits and then we'll get it outside, get it cleaned up, and then we'll be talking some numbers. Let's go. And there she is, guys, in the glorious sunshine of London at the moment. The car is completed. Now, I want to share a few tips with you guys. So you've seen, I've bought my car, I've fixed it, and now it's time, the all important bit, selling it. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that. Let's check it out. So guys, now that the car's done, I went ahead and I gave it a wash. I also went ahead and I gave the interior of the car a nice deep clean, and I always use Vanish carpet cleaner. I find that gives me a nice, good deep clean. It refreshes the smell of the car and it makes it nice and clean, ready for a new buyer. It literally just helps with the overall appearance of the car, and it increases the chances of someone seeing your car and wanting to buy this car. When you do your description, I always make sure that I let people know that it was a category S or category N, or it's had some sort of damage and it's been repaired. Obviously, if the car's got any sort of service history, that's something that you need to advertise as well, because once again, it increases the likelihood of someone seeing this car and wanting to go ahead and purchase it. Now, as you've seen in the video, the reason why I showed you a little bit of the work being done is I tried to do as much of the hard work as possible. So things like changing panels, changing lights, all of that, I've learned how to do it. So I'd advise that you guys learn how to change panels, how to do the basic stuff. That way, when you take your car to get it sprayed, or when you take it to get further, more extensive work done, then the more basic things are out of the equation. And in that way, you save a little bit of money on the labor, because that's what it's all about. You need to try to shave as much money as you can in order to maximize your profits. So I sell all of my cars on either Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader, but I tend to only go for Auto Trader if it's like a big value car, like a big BMW or Mercedes or so on and so forth. Another thing that I want to stress is make sure you take proper pictures. Don't take half of the car. When you're looking for a car, or if a potential customer is looking for a car, they haven't seen the car in person, so all they've got to go by is your pictures. So make sure you capture as much of the car in your pictures. And I've got a straightforward kind of formula that works for me over the years. I always take one at the front, one at the back, one on the left, one on the right, and then I go to the 4 diagonal corners, and that way any potential buyer can see a full 360 view of the car. I always slap a brand new MOT on there. It just helps reassure my potential buyers. Another thing I always do is I make sure I tax the car via direct debit. If it's a car that I'm going to keep, I always make sure that I give it a full year or maybe 6 months up front. But if it's a car that I know that I'm going to flip, you always do it with direct debit payments, because you can cancel it at any time and you don't have to wait for a refund, because that's what happens every time. As soon as you sell a car, you'll get a refund. Another thing, guys, is make sure you apply for your V62 form as early as possible. This car, I had this car, it's a category N. It didn't come with the V62. I had to pay 25 quid. I went to the post office. You go to any post office and ask for a V62 form. You fill it out. The DVLA, unfortunately, it's a very slow and tedious process getting a new V62. You have to do it, and it takes up to 6 weeks. So if you've bought a car and your money's tied up and you want to sell this car and it hasn't got a logbook, be prepared to wait for 6 weeks. So make sure you send it off at the earliest possible time, guys. Top tip. I got this car delivered, and the same day it was delivered, before I fixed it, before I bought any parts, before I did anything, I went down to my post office and I sent it off. This car was then completed and it sat for a further 2 weeks until I got the logbook, and then I was able to tax it, then I was able to drive it, and now I can go ahead and sell it. So that's another top tip. With that said, you always need to keep a record of how much money you spent, and that way you can add it all up, and then you know what your benchmark for selling afterwards is. That way you know what's the least you can take to make it worth your while. This is where we're going to end the video. I hope that you found this helpful. Hashtag quit flips. Let me know down below what you think of the episode. Let me know what you think of my pointers. If you've got any other pointers for buying and selling damaged cars, do let us know in the comments down below so that we can help other people. I always get DMs and stuff with questions asking, how do you do this and how do you do that? Guys, that's what I do. This was the first episode of Quick Flips. I hope you find it helpful, and if you have, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And if you're interested in purchasing this car or any of my other bills, drop me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description down below. And like I always say, keep it moving, and I'll catch you in the next one.